recognized symbol of excellence for your entertainment.
Heavy metal rules.
Welcome to Machino Music, the show that puts the music in Machino music, with your host, me, Brett Strong. Today on Machino Music, it's part 1 of my 20 favorite heavy metal albums. This should be fun. Good afternoon, everybody. My 20 favorite heavy metal albums. My 20 favorites. This was very difficult. This was a very difficult list to put together. I mean, because this was a Herculean effort. I mean, this was a job. I needed a padded room to compile this list because I'm just bashing my head against the wall. It's crazy. So, I decided to limit this list to 1 album per band because I like to torture myself. I mean, this is the only part of my job that actually felt like work. And also, it also helps because, I could make this list just like one band, like a couple bands, and then boom, list is done. But where's the fun in that? Where's the torture in that? So, 1 album per band, and also I tried to pick albums that mean something to me. These are my favorites, so if you don't hear your favorite, or you can't believe I picked a certain album, or you think, oh, that's not metal, that shouldn't be on this, we don't need to get into that. It's just cut me some slack. I'm not a computer, and I try to pick albums that meant something to me. So, did the best I could under the circumstances. Also, this is going to be part 1. This is 20 through 11, and next week will be the top 10. Okay, so let's get into it. Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss. Could have put Rain and Blood. I mean, that's kind of everyone's favorite, but I've always been a big fan of this album. This is my favorite Slayer album. And another thing with this is I'm not saying like one is better than the other. I mean, I'm just, they're not really ranked. It's just like these are my favorites. So this is just such a great album. This is my favorite Slayer album. I mean, War Ensemble, Expendable Youth. I love that riff. Skeletons of Society, I think, is my favorite Slayer song. So, that's probably why I made this over Rain and Blood. Because, I just love that tune. And, of course, the title track is just so great. Such a great song. So, Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss. Next, Drain STH, Horror Wrestling. Their first album, see them there? Bunch of gorgeous girls from Sweden, all girl heavy metal band. I mean, they only had the 2 albums. Freaks of Nature came out in 1999. That was the first album I got by them. Because I couldn't find this album at the time. Because I'd heard the song Crack the Liar's Smile. And I was like, what is this? And I saw the video and was like, they're like really hot too. Because I was like really, I was really into Spice Girls. I mean, if you watch this show, poster behind me. Because I'm a fraud. But yeah, then this kind of came along and we're like, wow, Spice Girls kind of going away. This is like Spice Girls, but they're like a heavy metal band. It's so cool. And they only had the 2 albums, but I found this one, Crack the Liar's Smile, such a great song. That was the song that got me into them. I Don't Mind kicks off the album, such a heavy tune, love it. Claudera is so awesome, so heavy. They do a cover of Motorhead, Ace of Spades on here. It's like a bonus track. But yeah, this is just a great album. Very forgotten. From 1996. But yeah, just such a cool album. Really cool band that you kind of wish could have stayed around a lot longer. And also, lead singer Maria Stodgholm is still married to Tony Iommi. So there you go. She's got her metal cred for sure. Next I'm going Motorhead, Bomber. This is my favorite Motorhead album. Kind of these albums mean something to me, like, and usually some of them could be my favorite album by the particular band. I mean, Sharpshooter is such a great song. Could be my favorite Motorhead song, although they have so many great tunes. Dead Men Tell No Lies kicks off the album. What a great tune. Yeah, the title track is great. Bomber. Stone Dead Forever. Great. Just love this. I mean, no other band like Motorhead. And I love the album cover, like just like Motorhead spaceship. So cool. Yeah. Motorhead, Bomber. Okay, next I'm going Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love. Almost like this close to putting Shout at the Devil, but decided to go with my favorite Motley Crue album. I mean, I think, like, other than Starry Eyes, which I think is kind of a boring song, this is like a perfect album. I mean, what a perfect debut. I mean, Livewire, awesome tune. And has my favorite Motley Crue song, which is Piece of Your Action. Just love that song. But just so many classics on here. I mean, this was the band's statement. And it, kicked off the explosion of glam metal, hair metal, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Love this album. Alright, how about Scorpions, Blackout? This one, I mean, love 70s Scorpions, but I kind of got into it a bit late. It doesn't connect with me as much as 80s Scorpions, especially this album is the first Scorpions album I got, because I read about it in a magazine, and it's like, you gotta hear this album. It's like, okay, I'm gonna listen to what this article says. So I went and got this album. Love the album cover. People think that is guitar player Rudolf Schenker, but I don't think it is. But guy with like forks in his eyes. Gotta love that. Title track is great. Of course, No One Like You. That was the big hit off of here. Now, Dynamite, heavy tunes. Got Arizona, which has that ridiculous video. Love it. Scorpions, Blackout, had to put this on. I mean, such a great, great album. Okay. Wasp, The Headless Children. My favorite Wasp album. I mean, most people will go with the debut, and I can't disagree. The debut is fantastic, such a great album. And also, people will go with the Crimson Idol. They might go with that one, but for me, the Headless Children, just kind of, I think, is just really like peak Wasp. Like, this is like them, like, really the songwriting, Blackie Lawless songwriting, there he is there. I mean, wow. Just a great, I mean, The Heretic, The Lost Child, great. The title track is awesome. So heavy, so epic. Thunderhead, awesome. Mean Man, which is about guitar player Chris Holmes. The Neutron Bomber, which I used to play on my high school radio station. In the cafeteria, nobody cares. Everyone got really mad when I played metal, especially they're like, what the hell? I want to hear whatever the pop song is. No, you're gonna listen to the Neutron Bomber. Maneater, awesome. That opening riff, I just used to just press the button and just keep playing that over and over again. Love that opening riff. Also some B-sides on here, some bonus tracks. I got a cover of Locomotive Breath by Jethro Tull. Probably my favorite version of that song. Like, there's a lot of covers of that tune. I think that's my favorite cover. Yeah, just a great album. Okay, Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. I was gonna, my favorite Twisted. If you go back and watch my Twisted Sister album ranking, my favorite Twisted Sister album is "You Can't Stop Rock and Roll." But here I decided to go with "Stay Hungry" because it has my favorite heavy metal song on it. Not just Twisted Sister song, my favorite heavy metal song, and that song is "Burn in Hell." I just love that song. So this album had to be on the list, mainly because that song. Also, I love the title track. We're Not Gonna Take It, still fun. Heard it a million times, but it's still fun. I still like it. I Wanna Rock, another one, heard a million times, but I still really like that song. Don't Let Me Down, The Beast, SMF, and if you don't know what SMF stands for.
And what does SMF stand for when it's spelled out?
It stands for the Sick Motherfucking Friends of Twisted Sister.
Yeah, love it. Had to have Twisted. There's a crack in that. Gee. Whoa. Okay. This is an obscure one. Warlock, Burning the Witches. This album's like never talked about. Warlock is barely ever talked about. Doro Pesch, the lead singer, gorgeous. Like, probably like, you could say like the queen of heavy metal. She's the real metal queen, not Lee Aaron. I don't think anybody remembers Lee Aaron. We do here in Canada because, she's Canadian. And we just care about Canadians. But yeah. This album, Doro is the queen of metal. This is the band she started with. I mean, the other Warlock albums are really good, but this one is just like, this debut is so awesome. And I like a lot of Doro's solo stuff as well. Some really great stuff. But this album, this is the opening track. Sign of Satan. It's just so heavy. And so evil. Sign of Satan. Yes. But yeah, this is like a perfect album. Like every song on this is great. I just love this one. The title track, yeah. Oh, so good. And very strange album cover. This like goblin guy and this like naked chick tiny naked chick strapped to a candle. Yeah. Love this. If you haven't heard this album, definitely check it out. Okay, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. This is just one of those albums. It's classic. Perfect album. Not a bad song on it. Some people nowadays say Guns N' Roses aren't really considered metal, but at the time, this was pretty heavy. This was considered metal. They came out of the LA glam metal scene. They were considered a glam metal band. Somebody wrote their name on this. I bought this used. There's like initials on this. I'm just looking. It's reflected. It's like MG. Michael Gow, the guy who played Alfred in the 1989 Batman. Yeah, like he would have this. That's just the first name that came into my head that matched those initials. My Michelle, such a great tune. Probably my favorite song on the album. Probably one of my favorite Guns N' Roses tunes. Just love it. So yeah, had to have this one. And closing out part 1, number 11, Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Could have put Master of Puppets, but this for me is my favorite Metallica album, always has been. I really have a connection to like the first 3, like those Cliff Burton albums. Cliff Burton was just really something special. Metallica was never the same after Cliff Burton. And you don't even have to get into the whole stuff like how they treated Jason Newsted. But, yeah. This album, first time I heard it, Fight Fire with Fire, that opening is so heavy. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. Love the title track. This is like a perfect album. Again, another perfect album. I don't think there's a bad song on here. A lot of people kind of, I heard some people kind of dump on Escape. But still, I dig that tune. I really like it. So yeah, had to have my favorite Metallica album, Ride the Lightning. So there you go. Part 1, 20 to 11 of my 20 favorite heavy metal albums. Again, these are my favorites. If you didn't hear your favorite, don't worry about it. These are my picks. If you disagree with mine, that's okay. We're allowed to like different things. So next week, it will be the top 10. We'll see how that turns out. I hope you enjoyed this. That's it for this week. Until we meet again, this is Brett Strong saying good journey.